Sometimes, man, you gotta enjoy the bad days, because if you don't have bad days, then you don't have good days. And unfortunately, when you're having a bad day and you're stuck in that mental rut of, man, this day sucks, you can't really see the good part of it yet. I've just had a lot of bad days to where, I'm just thinking, like, I'm just gonna get the hell out of it. It sucks when you're in the moment, but once you get out of it and you just are able to breathe again, you're like, all right, tomorrow's a new day, right? And that's the thing. A lot of people, they have a lot of bad days in a row, and then they just get stuck in that mental rut of every day's bad. That turns into every week's bad. That turns into my whole life is bad. And I don't think people should live like that. I think that's why a lot of people end up getting stuck in depression and they have anxiety and shit. It's because they don't ever get themselves out of what is causing their bad days. Whether that's a bad relationship, whether that's a bad, financial situation, you have problems with your parents, your siblings, anything like that. I think people just end up getting stuck in what is causing them to have bad days, and then it just ends up turning into like a huge domino, avalanche effect. And you shouldn't live like that. Like, if you need help and you need help, going to see a therapist or something, you should do it. Or, if you want to talk to somebody, a family member, a friend, a coworker, anything like that, man, do it. You only live once, man, and you shouldn't live miserable for your whole life. And that, I work in the trades, and I see a lot of older guys like that, man. They just, they end up not talking to their kids, they end up getting divorces, and they end up just living this shit life of constantly working and, never having anything good. It's because they don't want to get themselves out of it, and they're stuck in such this, like, egotistical fucking, like, mindset of, oh, my life sucks, that's just how it's gonna be. And no, you shouldn't work like that. You shouldn't freaking live like that. That's terrible. So, like I said, if you're having a bad day, or if, unfortunately things aren't going your way, just take a deep breath, realize that it's just today, it's just 24 hours. If you had a bad day at work, I'm sorry. I have bad days at work where I'm like, shit, why am I working such a hard job? I could probably be making more money somewhere else, but, I gotta realize, like, hey, this job, they treat me right, my bosses treat me right, and I'm thankful for that, and I get paid okay money. So, unfortunately, if the job site's going bad, shit ain't going my way, I just gotta say, it's just a bad time right now. It's just a bad couple hours, and don't be so freaking hard on yourself, man. If you're constantly trying to make yourself better as a person, mentally, physically, financially, you gotta give yourself a break sometimes. You can't constantly, chase. You gotta take a break sometimes, because that's what happens. You get burnout. Me personally, I'm on a weight loss journey, right? So, like, if I get, I get burnt out from trying to lose weight, and then I get discouraged, and then I stop doing it because I get burnt the hell out. And then I'm like, damn, I'm trying so hard and I'm not doing anything, and I'm not losing the weight, and I'm like, damn, man, this sucks. Maybe I should just give up. And no, I shouldn't think like that. Another thing is just, like, your simple mental health. Mental health. I mean, it certain things just trigger certain people, and they could just have one bad day, and that bad day turns into a freaking week. And I know a lot of people like that. I've grown up with people like that. And, I just want to say that everything's going to be all right. And sometimes you gotta freaking just embrace it. Because, as hard as you want to try for the bad day to get better, most of the time bad days don't get better. And bad days don't happen all the time. There's just a certain amount of catalyst things that happen, and then, so just like I said, just embrace it. Bad days don't last forever, bad weeks don't last forever. I will definitely say that, this time last year I was not doing good as a person. I had a lot of self-confidence issues. I had gotten actually laid off from work, and my mind was just messing with me like I wasn't good enough, and I constantly was beating myself up for it, like, damn, maybe I wasn't good enough for this job, maybe I am, weak mentally, physically, and all that shit, and I shouldn't have done that, and I put myself into a rut that I did by myself. I did it. Like, I caused that, and I shouldn't have think like that, but I learned from it. The springtime, I got a lot better. Summertime, I ended up fixing myself up a lot. started doing this content creation shit. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching these videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.